Welcome to Difficulty Spike. I'm Heavy, and here's how the show works. I'll be taking a game with the option to adjust difficulty and try to find the sweet spot of what is the best feeling difficulty setting. If you have a game idea, drop it in the comments section. New episodes every other week. Dishonored is a critically acclaimed, whale oil infused fever dream of a game that so many people love. And I'm in love with the combat, the movement ability, and the art style. Stunningly gorgeous while also feeling disgusting navigating it. Yet for me, the moral or chaos system creates a ton of FOMO and it makes earning the good ending a slog. But because I do enjoy the game, and for some reason my version of Apex Legends looks like this, thanks, EA! I wanted to find out, what is the best feeling difficulty setting for Dishonored? Not doing the DLC, by the way. I was still sick recording this, so I decided to give myself a small break. Sorry about that, but I may come back to it later. The opening of Dishonored finds us on a speedboat, being brought to the Empress, with the player character being Corvo. Not that Corvo, sadly, but silent protagonist Corvo, who is returning to Ratopia after searching for a cure to the plague afflicting their people. I always wondered why the Empress's royal guard was the one being sent, but this time I paid slightly more attention and realized that the spy master had been planning on Corvo being sent away for it. I smirked. Moving on, I tried to body block Jeff into the drink to zero success. Yeah, hold on. I'm on to something here. Come on, I'm so close. Come on, no! Run into Emily where I remember that hugs are nice. Refuse a rousing game of hide and seek with her, which I know is the canon way to play through this game, but I'm going for a high chaos silly run, so fuck you. How about that? Didn't see that targeted attack coming. Huh, Jake, you dense piece of lard. Rug pulling a new coin will have to wait as we arrive at the Empress and deliver some bad news about the plague this city is suffering from. And forget all of that, it's time for Assassins! As always, I'm on the highest difficulty setting, but found combat here to feel pretty damn good. There's a lot more to cover, but I usually expect the first combat encounter to feel tough. But there's no time for that thought process because the Empress is dead and Corvo's blamed for it, and we're off to Coldridge title card. I make a promise to myself here that I won't reload saves regularly, but just like in every other video, I continue to never honor promises to myself. The Spy Master begins taunting Corvo where I, ignoring the exposition dump, take some time to make a new friend. You can't do this to me, or Timothy. It's okay, Timothy, hang in there. And then wake up in my cell. Ugh, I don't like friends that much lately. The only friend I really have is Timothy. Thank you, Timothy. Together we'll get through this. I'm not sure how, but we'll find a way. Yep. Oh, sick. The key to the cell.
Still crying about that dice game?
Timothy, let's get out of here, buddy. Oh no, Timothy's been inside so long, he can't imagine a world outside of it. It's okay, Timothy. I understand. I'm sorry. Oh, why? Why is life so cruel? He could have lived, damn it. He could have lived. Maybe I'm a rat. Maybe I'm a rat. Even after finishing the game, it's better this way. We arrive at the game's stealth tutorial where I choose violence and am not rewarded for it. Die, re-murder Timothy. Canon is important now. Let the bloodlust consume me, and meet Timothy's brother, King Tomothy. Timothy's brother, Tomothy. He wouldn't leave. He wouldn't get out, you understand? You understand. I run from my self-created problems, breeze through the tutorial. I said breeze through the tutorial, arriving at Dunwall Sewers. This is the first area where you as the player hear about your actions having an effect on the world. With me murdering every guard, the new guards are concerned about Corvo's bloodlust, but King Tomothy handles them instead. I run into him later on and attempt to chat as equals. We are still friends. Thank you, Tomothy. I'm glad you understand. So good. So good that we could speak this way, you know? That there's no ill will between us. And I'm really thankful for that. Y'all are really going to town on that guy. Damn. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Timothy! Escaping the gnashing of teeth that certainly must be waiting for Corvo at the end of his rampage, I continue through the sewers. Solve the puzzle I actually kind of like, not because it's challenging, far from it, but that it teaches the player what uses the rats will have throughout the game. Beyond the puzzle, I set off a trap with my face because I just don't have eyes, I guess, and received the special equipment. Now it's time for another game show of Heavy's gonna bitch about some things and you have to sit and listen! In this special equipment, we receive a crossbow, which I have zero problems with, and a sword that I have a ton. Something that has always bothered me in this game is that our main weapon that is consistently out is a sword. You cannot use the sword as a weapon if you want the best ending, so other than defense, it's a constant reminder of all the tools throughout the run you can't use. Crossbow bolts, normal ones anyway, can't. Sword, can't. Gun, definitely can't. And that limits the player to stealth, running, or lots of choking out enemies and sleep darts. I just wish there was a way to get a non-lethal melee weapon. Thanks for coming by the game show of I'm not saying all that again, just look at the graphic I made, yay! I surprised this guard with the aforementioned sword, and light his buddy on fire, where I just enjoy myself for a minute, which I'm beginning to see as a problem. Picking up random garbage throughout the sewer, a realization hits me that Corvo seems to be converting everything to coin. Some feathers? That's 10 coin. I get that it can just be counted as this for use in trades with Piero, but it gives me the giggles. Linking up with Sam! And he takes Corvo to his new home, the Hound's Pit Pub. Before we get there is the mission stats page after every mission, and I have a quick question about this. Did the developers think that anyone wanted to go back and find all the coin that they've missed? The amount of money I would have to be paid to do that kind of run would be astronomical. Docking at the Hound Pit's pub, I'm introduced to the game's not bad guys, but totally going to betray Corvo at the end of all this, guys who are Lord Pendleton and Admiral Havelock, who tell me they're going to help me out restoring the throne by saving Emily. The conversation ends with me running off to find everything not nailed down to sell to this fucking weirdo Piero. If you like Piero, that's totally fair and fine, but you won't when you remember what a creepy is, pinky promise. Piero makes me a dope mask that I wish we got to see more somehow. I upgrade some equipment with all my ill-gotten gains and take a fat nap. Corvo awakes and... Oh no. I knew he slipped me something. I knew he was looking at me funny. We're finally introduced to the outsider, or probably God. He offers us the power Blink, an amazing feeling dash ability. From the sound to the full understanding of where you are at all times after using it, Blink is by far and away the one thing I will crutch on in any playthrough. Navigating through the bizarre landscape, I fall in the same place I do every fucking time I play Dishonored. Seriously, how does this keep happening? And I receive a rune. I pick up Vitality so I'm not as squishy, and go up to chat with Havelock about my first mission, removing High Overseer Campbell from the equation. This is where I had a fun idea. I'ma kill every guard I see, but no one else. When it comes to main bosses or just generic NPCs, they all get to live. After a very rude reminder from my friend Voodoo popped up, I attempted to fix my Steam settings, which I still haven't figured out, but I blamed the NyQuil for my stupidity. Then I made an odd discovery.
Corvo. Hello. I'm Callista. I work here for Admiral Havelock. I'm sorry to intrude
Why
on
does
your business,
everyone
but this is
have
important.
reverb on them? Like
I
a
suspect
weird
you're going
amount
to
of
kill the
reverb. Like
High
they're talking in
Overseer.
an echo
That
chamber.
wretched man. There's
It's
no
odd that the audio doesn't fit the environment. But anyway, I make a promise to Callista that I won't kill Jeff. Yes, the same Jeff I tried to drown earlier, but I mean it this time. Arriving at the distillery district, I choke out this guy because I forgot how to stab him. It's just left click. I'm a moron. And throw him into the water anyway. Up ahead, I arrive at Granny Rag's house, and she wants some help with a few ruffians at her door. Quick shout out to Susan Sarandon for her beyond stellar work here. I could still figure out it was her, but wow. Granny Rags is a character I'd love to see the whole story of. The outsider shows up to tell us that story, but I said I want to see it, so fuck off, and I'm off to mess up whoever's at Granny's front door. I get messed up in this encounter pretty badly, but I was also trying to set up a silly idea in my head. The difficulty can't be blamed for that, and I did notice that even though I was being foolish, I was still being rewarded. The best difficulty setting is the one where the player finds a fun way to accomplish the mission in front of them, partially fails, and still gets rewarded. It doesn't always work out for the player, but when it does, it makes me thrilled to play more. Receiving a rune from Granny, I upgrade Blink to the max level as duh, of course, and get a mission from Granny to poison the distillery with the plague. I of course agree and head to Dr. Galvani's flat to steal some. Knocking out a guard, don't worry, I kill him later. And this maid, don't worry, I did not kill her later. I move through the flat marveling at the modern art. The fuck is that? Ah yes, the Gleebleflorp. Descending down the stairs, I get an idea to place a spring razor and attract a guard into it. I proceed to keep trying this for the next 3 minutes, but these assholes never came by until I fully aggroed them, which was way less exciting. Anyway, I go back upstairs, open the hidden room via the shiny book lever, get the rat goo, and head back to the old distillery. So after avoiding all the outdoor guards, I get inside the main distillery, pull out my sleep darts, and knock out all 5 guards with them. There's 2 reasons for this. The first was I forgot where the key was to get to the room on the right of me, and the second was I've never seen the chain that allows you to bypass the entire room. I get to the objective, realize I need the key anyway, backtrack to get the key, get back to the door, and sabotage the bootleg elixir. Granny is impressed with me and gives out another rune as a reward. My focus for powers this run will be on Blink, Bend Time, Vitality, and Shadow Kill. There's no rhyme or reason for this, I just wanted to use all of these minus Vitality. That was just to survive a little easier, but so far it hasn't impacted too much. It might be relevant later on, so I'll keep tabs on it. Back on the main path, Corvo, not me, it was his fault, takes a massive fall, Y-game bug, and meet the East Side Slick Boys. Another spring razor in hand means I'm going to do something stupid, and look at that, in record time no less. Reloading and running half a mile back without Corvo breaking his own legs, still not my fault, and try the same idea again to a wild degree of success.
Where'd you run off to?
Nowhere. I'm definitely not around the corner.
Hey, we're gonna find your son.
Oh no. I'm not ready. Oh man. Well, that was a lot easier. Not in a million years. Not in a million years would that happen again. All right, now I gotta know. It just nailed the ball. Oh, fuck. I had zero idea that was even possible, but I'm so glad it's recorded. After all of this fun, I obtained the power Shadow Kill to brutally disappear this guard and rescue Captain Dickhead Martin the Betrayer, who I promptly ignore, sneak through the series of buildings, encounter one of Timothy's goons who distracts this guard long enough for me to take care of him.
A rice, chicken.
Find Campbell's special room, which is mad disgusting, and no, I'm not going into it, but I didn't like it. After dying to a group of guards, which was 100% my fault for being greedy, I reload the safe, kill all the guards on the second floor, and arrive at Campbell's meeting chamber or dining room. The player is given a series of choices to switch the poison glass so Campbell can drink it, put poison in both glasses, spill the glasses, or do nothing. I went with spilling the glass to save Callista's brother, but this will turn into a dumb, enraging problem later on. I knock out Campbell with a sleeping dart and Captain Kernow a bit later on as well. On a whim, I decide to move the captain to a safer location, thinking it was a good idea to hide him. Remember that going forward. I quickly brand Campbell, kill the last 2 guards in the room adjacent to the meeting chamber, and hightail it out of there. Leaving this area, I have the choice to explore or go straight to Samuel and leave the mission. Of course, I decide to explore and am rewarded with not much, to be honest. A rune, 2 bone charms I never used, and some ammo I ended up wasting fighting all the enemies here. I also reloaded a save right here 7 times to try and kill all 3 of these guards at once. I failed spectacularly and wasted about half of the resources I had just gotten. Genius level intellect from me, but I won't deny it was a ton of fun to try to get everything to work out my way. Very hard difficulty is noticeable, but I have not yet felt underpowered compared to anything the game has thrown at me. Upon returning to the hideout, Callista informs me that she mourns the loss of her brother, which was bewildering.
My uncle's been killed, hasn't he?
What?
I know he never came back from the meeting with High Overseer Campbell. I don't know why I expected anything else.
He's alive. He's fine. That's okay. What? But I spared him. I'm so fucking confused. Still questioning that one while editing, because I can't see how throwing him onto the floor like this got him killed. So either Callista is a moron, or I'm unlucky and shattered his vertebrae. Havelock and Pendleton have a conversation at Corvo about all the great things he did by removing Campbell from the picture and send me off to bed, but I get some upgrades really quick before ending the day. Once Corvo awakes, Havelock immediately wants us to go check out the sewers for what are most likely weepers, which are people who are afflicted by the plague. I find these cretins of society, give them a couple of murder balls to go, acquire the final upgrade for Shadow Kill, encounter a funny little bug. Then Havelock and Needledick give us another mission to kill Pendleton's brothers. Something to do with having a majority vote from the prominent Pendleton house or something. I don't know, I was hungry here. Pendleton acts sort of chill about it, but also not. I, of course, silently agree, but deep down, know those brothers are going to live just somewhere else. Piero calls me his friend, which I didn't get. We're not friends. I don't know you, bro. Yeah, you're my dealer, essentially. Which I still agree with, and we're whisked off to Dunwall proper. I finally get to see the consequences of my actions for being a rampaging psychopath, which I do like in concept. Having to deal with a harder area to navigate is a lot of fun, but knowing that it could have been easier by not killing any guards is annoying. Every frame of gameplay you have seen after getting the sword has been with it on screen. Yes, defense and whatnot, but I hate it. A thug pulls me out of this thought process, telling me that his leader Slackjaw, whose supply of elixir I poisoned, wants to chat with me. I arrive at Slackjaw's office, where he complains about losing a ton of men to the tainted supply. Whoopsie. This works out in my favor because he wants Corvo to break into Dr. Galvani's and see what happened to his, quote, best man. Because Slackjaw thinks Galvani has been causing all these problems. My response was foolproof, creating zero suspicion. You got it. Oh, man. Yeah. No problem, man. I'll take care of this Galvani character for you. On the way to Galvani's place, I find the art dealer's flat, clean up Slackjaw's men, find a safe, open that safe to steal some nice stuff, and finally go to Galvani's, find Slackjaw's best man, who got laid the fuck out, and return to Slackjaw with the somber news. He takes this news way better than I expected and offers another quid pro quo where he'll take care of the Pendleton brothers if Corvo gets him the art dealer's safe combination. So I had zero clue this worked this way, as the last time I played Dishonored was probably about 10 years ago. Kinda wild you can outplay him like this with zero repercussions, but I love it. After this, I rescue a woman from some rude guards. She gives me a key to the art dealer's house, which is so silly. Why is she posted here? Moving on, I love this interaction with the environment I had. Killing 2 guards with 1 bolt and avoiding detection is heavenly. Fuck a low chaos run. At the Golden Cat, I break in easily, move upstairs, accidentally find Emily just chilling in a dilapidated room, which was surprising as all hell, to the point where she gets 50 feet ahead of me before I realize she's running off. We find the door leading back to the distillery district, but it needs a key and Corvo is off to fetch it. Apparently the headmistress has the key, so I send her to the Shadow Realm, take the key, sexually torture the art dealer for the sick thrill of it, and you know, the safe code I already opened, but Slackjaw doesn't need to know that, so shut up. He gets tuckered out from the experience. I see some strumpets slow dancing. Neat. kill this guard and his aristocrat friend, but not the courtesan because sex work is real work, and we're all done at the Golden Cat. In this case, I think it would have been more fun to go kill everyone, but this is sillier and I'd rather do that. Returning to Slackjaw, he is overjoyed with the safe code and promises the Pendletons will never be seen again, stating how he'll cut out their tongues and put them in the mines to work forever. The morally good ending still has some dark moments, and I can see how it still works for a low chaos run, but the next one does not hit the same. We return Emily back to the hideout, and you may notice it's been daytime throughout the mission. And Havelock here says, in one night, you've done more than most men do in a lifetime. I took exception to this. It's the day! It's the fucking daytime! What the fuck do you mean? Stop saying night. I did it all during the day. It's like 5 p.m. now. Actually, it's probably a lot later than 5 p.m. It's like 7. But like when I was there, it was like 2. Oh, that is dumb. You are stupid. You're stupid. One night, one day. Seriously, this bugs me to no end. It had to have been max 2 p.m. when I broke into the Golden Cat, and it's barely dusk arriving back at the hideout. How the fuck is it nighttime for you, Havelock? Do you know the difference between the sun and the moon? Because I don't think you do. After a small break, I come back, upgrade some gear with Piero, talk to Pendleton about his deceased brothers. While he bores my ear off, let's talk about the greatest game of all time, Yu-Gi-Oh! And the worst simulator, Master Duel. Look at this, I'm playing cards, they summon this card, and I get these cards to finish my turn on this card, and then my opponent starts their turn, I use this card to effectively stop them from playing too much, or they'll give me more of my cards, but that's when I pop this card, and they use this card to summon that card, but I detach this so I can negate this card and pop it, and they surrender the duel. Wow, what an interactive game full of potential that everyone should play against me with a bad deck. Seriously, this guy's deck is terrible, full of ways that you could brick from your opening turn. Instead of just cutting like 15 to 20 cards, I see that I've lost you. Let's go back to the game you're here for. We return to Dishonored, where Havelock and Martin tell me how awesome I am and send me out on another mission. They mention no rest, but once again, it's fucking daytime! And we arrive at the South Side Bridgeway to abduct Rasputin or Sokolov or whatever. I perform a stylish fall into execution that was totally planned, you can't prove it wasn't. Navigate to the world's shortest tramway, ride the tram, go on a collectathon for items I don't really need at this point in the game, and make it to the alley before Caldwin's Bridge. Honestly, there isn't much combat to talk about here, as most of it looks like this. A couple of enemies see me, I kill them and blink past the rest. Little did I know the high amount of combat I would be facing very, very soon. Arriving at the bridge, I navigate it with relative ease, dying a couple of times by mostly being silly. The less silly I am, the easier a game is, which is fair. This isn't a game where every action you take should be the first dumb idea that pops into your head. That's Yu-Gi-Oh! Relearning this, I quietly exsanguinate this guard, traverse the bridge, pull the power to the spotlights on the bridge, which I don't get at all. Can't they just replace the whale oil once I've pulled it? Shouldn't the objective be and destroy the supply of it nearby? I get that it would be tedious, but maybe we could put the supply up near the power supply instead? Regardless, I dash in the next area and go full murder mind after being spotted. Gotta say, when the combat hits, it feels massively rewarding to execute on. This game feels like it would have been very fun to speedrun if I wanted a low chaos run, but I also feel like it wouldn't be true to my preferred playstyle of jumping in and fighting small groups of enemies at once. Speaking of that, we arrive at Rasputolov's front door, quietly killing his guards and entering. I go loop blind, bite off way more than I can chew after finding out there is a new bit of equipment the enemies have now which can suppress the player's powers. I keep a mental note of this as I press on, switching control of the wall of light to only be mine, and fry a few of the guards that are hunting me. Another thing I've been glossing over is the health system. I found a bone charm very early on that allows me to heal more from food than normal. This has been the crutch of the century as I barely ever need health potions anymore. It doesn't mean they aren't helpful, but I'm usually full when I find one. You could say it trivializes the difficulty, and I might actually agree with you, but I don't care and will continue to abuse it because the game gave it to me. I abduct Sokoputin and return to the hideout where Havelock awaits to tell us it's finally time for some rest, cause you know, it's fucking midnight. Corvo awakes to Emily talking about napping in Corvo's room, and I'm lost as to why no one put a bed in here for her. She would obviously feel comfortable around Corvo versus people she really doesn't know that well. I go looking for Piero, but I can't find him in his workshop. This will be very important in the near future. Blinking over to Havelock, where he's threatening the less than holy man with torture via King Timothy's forces, I suggest finding a better way and go to chat with Piero about it, finding him doing this.
I know it looks... I was inventing a new kind of lock. The tumblers shaped like snowflakes. The truth is, there is no snowflake lock. I was just, looking through the lock.
What the fuck?
I couldn't bear it if she knew. I know you're a man of honor, and I also know that you can kill me at any time. And for both of these reasons, I apologize and beg for your discretion.
I'ma fucking tell. I, in fact, did not tell as I didn't know how. So I buy a bottle of liquor from Piero, reminding myself to stay away from him for a while, return to the Mad Monk, I'm running out of names at Mach 10, and give him that liquor. He immediately spills the beans for the liquor, which, damn, addiction is crazy powerful. With the newfound information, we're off to deal with one of the three Lady Boyles when Pendleton gives us a note with instructions to go meet up with a Lord Shaw for seemingly no reason. We accept that quest happily with 0 questions. I'd like to have 3, but whatever, and now we sail towards the Boyle estate. Upon getting to the estate, I spot my first tall boy, which I'm guessing is the universally used term by players and not from the developer, as I had to look it up and found out way after my playthrough. I avoid them by just blinking around, collect some runes, upgrade my agility, which I had no idea wasn't maxed out already, and blink into the party. After remembering I could put my weapons away, genuinely had no idea I could do that, and it's probably been annoying for some of you, to which I say, I run after an invitation to a party I already got from looting the art dealer's vault and start to devolve into a posh version of myself for a little too long. Oh, yes. Thank you. Disgusting behavior. Yes. You may go. Yes. Oh, how peculiar in here. Yes. Oh, I tire of their droll conversation and wish to speak with a more common folk. Yes. Sorry, I was admiring your buttocks. Yes, quite. You shall be going that way, and I shall be taking up residence behind this man's fine buttocks. Yes. Quite so. To this day, I'm unsure why my shitty posh voice always ends every conversation with quite so. The voice ends quickly when I encounter Lord Shaw and realize we will be dueling to the death. Yes. Oh, are you a Lord Shaw?
Pendleton is a gutless lying sack of shit.
Right. Right. I'm sorry. Huh?
It's damn cold tonight. Hurry up. Let's see what you're made of.
Fucking what? I lose this duel twice. Both times I don't aim down sights and forget the pistol is essentially a shotgun. With this sorted, I make Shaw the Ashen one, forget to save, this is important, go skulking around on the restricted top floor of the Boyle estate when I get caught 3 times, and finally just walk into the fucking party normally. I quite so about the place, admiring the whale confetti poppers, when some freaked masked man stops to chat about Lady Boyle's life. He wants her to come with him forever, and I have some reservations about that, but I promised non-lethal to all main targets, so I have to deliver. We'll come back to that. I spend a lot longer than I would like to admit trying to figure out what I should be doing at this party. Figure out what I do need to be doing by going upstairs and finding clues. Now, even longer later, like 30 minutes, I'm not proud of this. I get to Waverly Boyle's room, the target, get the last note I need, and the game fucking bugged. I can no longer communicate with any of the Boyle ladies at all. I reload the safe, attempt to get back to the party, and try again only to find out I'm immediately under attack for zero reason. I take exception to this and kill every single guard. No matter how mad this made me, the hour of wasted time created a therapeutic response within my brain just rampaging around. I choke out Waverly and bring her to her captor, which still feels exceptionally dirty to have been done. Future heavy here, I'm going through editing this and I'm just noticing it says target assassinated Lady Boyle, but I chose the non-lethal route. I'm so confused. Does anyone know how that might have happened? Because I'm lost. I watched back the footage and it makes zero sense. Apologizing to the guests as I leave the estate, the guards outside have zero clue what happened inside and I can't stand it anymore. Fucking why did they aggro inside the building and not outside? For what reason did they get pissed at me? All annoyances aside, for the difficulty aspect of the game, I started noticing that it felt fair being on the highest difficulty. Enemies die in 2 sword swings, I die in 3. Without vitality upgrade, probably 2, but I don't see why I wouldn't have it. And I don't mind it. It feels a lot more correct than the base difficulty. After beating the game, I dropped it down to see what it felt like. I died in 7 sword swings to a group of enemies I could have defeated by just swinging back. Normal difficulty might as well be baby's first game for how trivial it made an encounter. We return to the hideout and Pendleton, actually fuck Pendleton, where Havelock informs Corvo that there is only the Spy Master left to take care of, and we go right back out to Dunwall Tower. Truly not much to say here, as fighting everyone on any difficulty higher than normal would probably result in death. So I bypass most enemies and get an idea. You know when someone's about to save the game, they have a really, really bad idea. Remembering how to push the spacebar, I press on and just run past everything, taking some damage, but overall, not much else happening. I access the tower, make my way to the top where the propaganda officer is channeling some interesting inspiration. He gives us the info that all we have to do is go get a tape inside of the Spy Master's safe and play it to the people from this tower. Huge question. Why would a Spy Master keep an incriminating tape? Shouldn't they of all people know not to keep that at all? In fact, here's another issue. The plan was to remove the royal line and take over. After losing control of Emily, why do you have anything left to chance? Regardless, I get that evidence, play it over the loudspeaker, and the Spy Master has been handled. Returning to the hideout, everyone celebrates with some libations and Corvo gets sweepy, but instead of resting, he got roofied and wakes up to the goon squad revealing they were all planning to betray Corvo. Oh no, who could have known that? Shit. Sammy reveals he only gave half of the roofie colada to Corvo so he could survive and sends him to the diarrhea district where the assassins find us. Finally, we come face to face with the man who murdered the Empress, Dowd. Lazy name for a cool-seeming guy. He throws all of my hard-earned items into a pit and sends Corvo to a different pit, which adds up. I break out using brick technology, grab an assassin sword, and go on a bloodlust-fueled hunt for Dowd. When the game takes away all of the player's items, I usually roll my eyes, but relying only on a sword and powers was actually a ton of fun. So much so, I go for Dowd before getting all my gear back. I kind of wish this was the intended path for reclaiming all the lost gear Dowd takes. It doesn't change too much as we're back on murder time! The assassins are way tougher to fight against than base guards, but once again, never felt unfair to fight against. The up challenge felt appropriate for the end game, and having to use more than one tool in my arsenal was so much fun, even dying didn't feel like a setback anymore. Breaking into Dowd's base, I carved a bloody path through, leaving none standing until I finally reached the man in question, froze time and finished him. After some light backtracking, I retrieved all my gear and left this area for good. The next area is boring, so we'll jump to the sewer, where Slackjaw and crew have been led by Granny Rags so she can end them once and for all, which leaves the player with a choice. Side with Granny or Slackjaw. I chose Slackjaw as even though Granny Rags is 10 times more fearsome, she does feel the more evil of the two. Something I don't know about is if you were going for a low chaos run, deciding with either one cause any issues? Let me know in the comments section please, because I'm very curious. After burning Granny's OnlyFans account, she evaporates into King Tomothy. It was a disguise all along! Slackjaw gives us some money, but more importantly, the keys, and I'm back at the beginning of the level, running past a swarm of weepers into a room full of Chris, where I let them kill me due to my sheer rage at the moment, and I blow them up with some grenades I had been saving. Exiting the sewers, I find Cecilia, who tells me Havelock had all the servants executed and she's trying to escape. Suddenly, I forget the difficulty setting, run into a whole legion of guards who rock my ass back to the reload menu, and I play a bit safer this time. This run was a ton of fun, so I'm just going to let it play out in its entirety so you can see it. After all the fun, Corvo links up with the Wonder Creep twins who offer a lethal or non-lethal solution to dealing with the guards in the area. I decided on option 3, kill every guard myself with my shiny new explosive shot pistol and activate their machine for non-lethal purposes. Of all things, I'm not giving Piero credit for saving the day under any circumstance. The fucking creep, I hate him. Samuel shows up to give us a ride to the final mission on King Sparrow Island to rescue Emily for the last time. When we dock, I was done with him being a dick about the high chaos, so he's off to Davy Jones' locker. Quickly, I blink into what I think is a small sewer opening that leads to some kind of control room. Here's a fun one. There's no other way into this room. Who designed this place to be functional? If you want to replace the whale oil, you have to go to wherever the fuck that's stored, bring it to outside of the fortress, get a ladder, then go into the control room and replace it. One door into this control room solves that whole issue in a second. My guess is that a 10-year-old designed this complex on the back of an Applebee's paper table mat and some architect saw it and fucking lost their shit. It's dumb. I blink through all the enemies guarding the gate when I see that Martin and Pendleton are having a mid-off. After a couple of attempts, I notice something odd. I can walk right up to Martin and he doesn't bat an eye until I move much further past him, then the enemy's aggro. The game is falling apart by the seams and I'ma abuse it for all that it's worth. I finally get past the gatehouse where I sleep dart both Pendleton and Martin. I ascend the lighthouse. The combat here is mostly a breeze as it's all just the lead up to the showdown with Havelock. But this showdown has a small problem attached to it. See, for a couple of frames, Emily is shown hanging on to nothing. So I jump after her, only to see after my decision that she was just hanging around up there. I get a quick giggle from this and I reload, sleep dart Havelock, save Emily for real this time, and she tells Corvo how it sucks all of these people can't be punished. Every single one of these people is alive, but I'm guessing the game can't reflect that. It must just be a binary you are good or you are a meanie butt. And that's it. Credits roll. So, what's the verdict? Very hard should be the base difficulty. I expected a way harder challenge going to this from my very loose memory of playing this game 10 years ago, but it's actually perfect. You as the player feel powerful with all of the tools and powers at your disposal, but can be put down by a group of guards at any point. Challenge still exists, whereas at lower difficulty, I begin to feel like a god. Being a god in a game can be enjoyable, yet it removes the thought process of how to combat a new encounter in any given situation. If you want to give it a revisit, I couldn't recommend anything lower than the hardest difficulty. With that out of the way, it's time we return to some familiar effect. Some might say, Mass Effects. Huh? Get it? Fuck. Just play the outro. Okay, thanks, Questlove, bye.